Hello, my family. We are going to do something very special today in the kitchen. But before we do, y'all, look, I have to tell you a story that it was really heartwarming for me to do today. I don't normally do anything for myself, and I love beautiful dishes to serve for the holidays, especially. I have casserole dishes that they're basically from Pioneer Woman, but they're pretty for Christmas or everyday life. But I realized I really don't have any dishes, none, for Thanksgiving or fall until today. Y'all, I gotta share this with you. No, this is not a promotion. This is just for me for once. I splurged on something for me and I wanted to share it with you and get y'all's opinion to let you know that, just tell me what you think, because I thought these were absolutely adorable and I could literally see this on my table with my family. I miss one of my family very, very much, and I really wish they were here for the holidays, but this just warmed my heart. And I saw the stock pot, and I'm going to tell you, this was over at Walmart. I saw the stock pot, and I wanted it too, but I had to pick and choose, basically. So it came to practicality, how much do I really want it? But I'm going to show you the casserole dish that the pattern of this stock pot was too, and I was like, oh my god, it's cute. But I didn't get it, y'all. I didn't get it. But let me show you the casserole dish. Look how pretty this is, y'all. I have never had anything this gorgeous. And this comes undone and it places on your table with this rack. And the stock pot had that same design on it. It looks like this big old bubble. It's so cute. But I didn't get it because, let me show you the other one I also got to go with this. I know, why am I so giddy? Y'all, I never do this for me. And so this is another gorgeous casserole dish. And I don't know, I could just see beautiful things of acorn squash stuffed in this pan. I could literally put lasagna in that other one I just showed you, or my mama's stuffing for the holidays. Oh, that would be so beautiful inside that dish. So, y'all, you're going to be seeing those on my counter because they're absolutely beautiful. They blend in with my kitchen. I am really happy with my kitchen because it brings me joy. This room, there's just something about this room. It is like, as you should know by now, 3 years of doing this with y'all, is food is my passion, and anything that deals with it is amazing. So yes, I splurged and I just wanted to share it. Look, I don't have too many people close to me, and so I have to share it with somebody, so I'm sharing it with my family out here in YouTube land. So there it is, y'all. I did something crazy for myself today. What I am fixing to do at this moment is I just milled 500 grams of Durham wheat flour. The reason for that, I'm fixing to use this pasta maker only to mix a pasta dough. And I'm going to hand crank because I do not have the die or a press, whatever. I have a hand crank pasta maker to make sheets of lasagna. The reason I'm making sheets of lasagna is because I can't find any authentic sheets right now at any stores near me. So the best thing for me to do is make it homemade. I'll boil it up for a few seconds or a few minutes, and then we're going to chill it off, and we're going to get ready to layer a casserole. We're going to make homemade pasta sauce and make the most amazing lasagna ever. Y'all, it has been years since I made a lasagna, and it's time we do this from scratch the most wholesome way possible. So if you're ready with me, let's go into this beautiful kitchen and let's create the most amazing meal today. Okay, y'all, so I'm actually using this machine to basically knead my dough for me. So I'm going to be adding, first off, my 100 and, hang on a second, y'all. Sorry, it was a speck of grain. Kind of freaked me out for a minute. Okay, so I need 500 grams of fresh milled durum wheat flour for my pasta. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my maker. I had already pre-milled it. And I'm going to mix it with 7 grams of salt. Go ahead and weigh that out right quick. Ooh, yep, too much. There we go. 7 grams of salt, in we go. Go ahead and turn this on right quick. Okay. I've not used this in a while, y'all, so it's showing me I have to add my water first. So, alright, and I also need to put my lid on. So, hang on a second. It don't work like that. I guess for safety reasons, which is okay. Yeah, that's what it was. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we got the salt and the flour mixed together. Now, I need 140 to 160 grams of water. I have 140 right here with me, and I have 20 set aside just in case I need it. In this water, I need to add 1 large egg. So I'm going to use that from my own farm fresh eggs. And I'm going to whisk this up really quick. Let me get something to whisk it with. Be right back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to whisk this up. And what I'm going to do is let this setting go to where it's going to mix it and turn it off. And let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes for all this liquid to absorb into the mix. And then from there, we're going to come back. And we're going to do it again and catch it before it extracts. So I'm just going to let this bad boy work for me instead of me working it, because the pasta dough can be kind of tough. I'm wanting to put all of this 140 grams in here at least. And I'm looking for it to look like sand, basically. Let's pause it for a second. Drop my flour on the edge. I'll show you how, if you have this maker, I'll show you all how to let it work for you. Now if it looks like it's going to be just a hair dry, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little more. Because it could be the temperatures too. Like here, we have been really dry lately, so it makes sense. We've had no humidity, just heat and very, very dry. That's looking a little better right there. Yeah, that's looking a lot better right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let this do its thing. I am going to let it mix. Stop this machine just before it extracts. It will beep when it's finished, and at that point immediately, so I'm watching this carefully on my timer, because immediately when this turns off, I need to turn this off. I do not want this extracting out. We're just using it as a mixer today. And then I'll have to get my pasta maker out. In the meantime, I'm going to use that 20 to 30 minute rest time, wash my hair, come back, and we're going to finish our lasagna, because the next after that, we're going to go do our sauce and let that simmer while we're waiting on our pasta. I'm utilizing my time, y'all, because we have praise and worship at church tonight, and we are having to go there at 7 o'clock, so I got to get everything done, including supper. And it is currently about 2:41, y'all, so we got some work to do. Can I do it? Let's find out. I already made a focaccia this morning. It's sitting in my fridge. It's going to pretty much sit and ferment for the next 14 hours. So that's for tomorrow night's supper, which that's going to be so beautiful. I'll have to show it to y'all, I guess. Now, that's it. We stop this. We're going to get our timer out, and I'm going to let this sit for, it is good to let it sit for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to set it. See you soon. Before I wash my hair, y'all, I need to talk to the ladies. Okay, ladies. So, I have been doing something, okay, not known much anymore. It used to be years and years ago. Our generation used to do this, but there was nightcaps. Okay, I know, I'm talking weird. But let me explain why. I had recently decided to go on the edge and try something, and it was getting silk nightcaps. And what I would do, number one, my husband lays on this long hair, y'all, and it drives me crazy. And if it's not him, the cats step on it. But more than that, I just knew that everybody kept saying it takes the frizzies out, it leaves your hair soft, it moisturizes, and it is not a joke. Literally. Look, y'all, my hair used to be, every time I made a video, I could literally see it everywhere. But I've got shine, bounce, manageability. It's super soft. So, if I look strange at night wearing my nightcaps, that's what I'm going to do to get this. So, I just thought I'd share it with y'all. If you ever get the notion to just try the nightcaps, just get the silk or the satin ones, tuck all of your hair up in it. And the reason for what it does is when we're laying on our pillows, we're shifting our heads, and it gets in there, and on those pillows it's rubbing constantly. And the cotton from our sheets or our linens, it dries your hair's moisture out. And not only that, but it causes breakage. So I tried this to see if it worked, and I thought it was crazy. So I thought, well, what the heck, I'm going to share it with y'all. Just in case somebody's looking at, is there a way to make my hair look better? I did find it. It's super simple. And I'm able to get a silk cap at Walmart. Honestly, Walmart has them for less than $5. So, super simple. And so, just thought I'd share that. Maybe it's nothing pertaining to anybody. But, yeah, I look crazy in my nightcap at night. But it's working for my hair. All right, y'all. We have 1 pound of ground beef and pork mix. That seems to be the thing these days. It's funny, but a lot of Italian recipes do the same thing from Italy too. So this is an 80-20 base, so we're going to fry this up, and I am going to season this with some garlic, fresh garlic. Once I get this cooked down, then we're going to go ahead and add our sauce and our basil and our salt and pepper. That is it, y'all. We're not going very fancy with our sauce. We just want simple flavors. And that's it. So, once I get this cooked up, we shall be right back, and we're going to add the rest of our stuff. I am also using home canned tomato sauce. This stuff is amazing. So I can't wait. This is going to be an amazing meal. Alright y'all, 30 minutes is up, so all I'm doing is mixing this right now, and I'm going to end up taking the ingredients out of this machine when it's finished. I'm going to mash it together, knead it to a bowl, and then we're going to be able to use this to use our hand pasta maker to make lasagna sheets out of. So once I get this finished, we'll be back. In the meantime, I'm back over here at the sauce. Alright, yeah, we're putting this together and we're just sitting here kneading the dough. I've got one already done, and then I'll be wrapping these up with saran wrap, letting them sit for at least 20 minutes or so, and in the meantime we'll finish off our sauce. At that point I'll be grating some mozzarella cheese for our filling as well with ricotta. So this part is the tricky part of it. It is the most hardest part. It's just sitting here kneading pasta dough, and occasionally if I feel like it's getting dry, I just wet my hands now and I just knead my dough till it's nice and smooth, pliable. We get the glutens all mixed up. This is the part I thought I could avoid, but nope, can't avoid it. It's got to get done. So I'm going to sit here and knead this, and once I get it done, I'll be back. I understand not everybody is going to make your own lasagna noodles, so I get that part. So if you have a chance to find some, especially if you find some from a product of Italy, by all means do so. I don't know, depends. Let's see how this works out. I may have to go on Amazon and look for it for me, because I know my grocery stores don't have it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and get this knead and then wrap it up, which I think this is good enough, basically. So I'm just going to go ahead, flatten this out, going to wrap it in saran wrap, and then I'm just going to let this sit, and we're going to come back to our sauce. Alright y'all, so both our pieces of dough, I broke this up because when we go to hand roll this, we're not going to want this one big sheet anyway. So now I've got both of these wrapped up. I'm going to go ahead and stick them in this container right here. Seal it up, set it aside. Oops, sorry about that. And we're going to go ahead and work on our sauce and let that simmer. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and strain this mix into this pot, because we do not want this grease in here, y'all. None of it. At least I don't. I mean, that's up to you if you want to keep it. Some people do. I just choose not to. And I'm actually going to add, in replace of that, just for moisture of its sake, just a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil gives that really good flavor. Alright, so we now have this drained. I'm going to add that in here, mix that with our olive oil. Set this aside. Alright, we're going to bring you closer. Alright y'all, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and pop open this jar of tomato sauce. Oh, that smells amazing. I'm going to mix this up in here. Wow, look how pretty this is. And if I have to, I'm going to go ahead and get another jar, or I can do a 15-ounce can too. So, because I don't want any more than a pound of meat in this anyways. This is going to be a heavy dish as it is. So, alright, there's our sauce. I'm going to mix this all together. Break up any big chunks. Now I'm going to go ahead and tear some fresh basil in here for extra flavor. I do need to grow some more, so we will be doing that, y'all. I did decide that I'm going to go ahead and grow some fall vegetation, so I will take you with me when we do this. But I'm going to be doing some spinach, some kale for sure. I love kale. kale salad. Kale's good for some of our stuffings, some of our soups, so I'm definitely going to do some kale and some more basil. We're going to kind of have a warm winter, so all of these should do well, but it won't be so warm that it's going to bolt on me. So it'll have some coolness. Alright, y'all, so now we're going to go ahead and get some fresh pepper. Y'all, I'm not really doing a recipe on this. Just follow this video because it's really not hard. It's so simple. Mix that up and we'll get some salt. Sprinkle that in here to take some of the acidic of the tomatoes down. And that would be our sauce, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste test, see where the balance of flavors are. I got to get a spoon back here. So let's see what we got here. Just a little bit more salt. Wow. That sauce is amazing. That's not a flavor I've ever tasted from a can. I'll just tell you that much. Wow. It's got a good acidic to it, sort of a sweetness to it. The salt is just going to balance out that sweetness. That's where you needed some more. I'll go ahead and do this again. There we go. Alright, we're going to let this simmer. And in the meantime, we're leaving our dough to rest so that we can start making our lasagna shells. Alright, y'all. So this dough was nice and stiff. Pretty much I couldn't even manage to work with it no more. Leaving it sit for 10 minutes or more allows it to be more pliable. So at this point, I'm just going to sit here and roll this out. I'm going to have to get some flour because we do not want it sticking to our roller. And then I'll show you how we're going to do our lasagna sheets. So let me get some flour and we will begin to do this. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to use my little dusting one because I'm not wanting to use a whole lot of flour, just enough to surface, because we do not want to make this a stiff, floury dough, basically. So I'm going to take this and put it through here. This is on number 1. And I'm just going to crank this bad boy in there. First time is usually the hardest. I'll take it, fold it in on each end so it make it nice and squared off. I hope you can see this. No, you can't. Hang on. There you go. So now I'm going to square this off. That way I can go in here nice and neat. I have to tighten this up just a little bit more, y'all. There we go. Okay, we'll see how that works. Now we're going to go ahead. Well, no, that didn't work out too well either. Okay. Pop this in here again. I'm thinking I got this all the way open. Yep, I do. It's on 1, so it's not that easy to go through. That's the reason why we flour this as well. There we go. Shoo, lordy. Alright. I'm going to go run this through one more time at this level, and then we're going to go to the next level. As we're stretching this, if it gets too long, we're going to cut it in half. I'm going to go ahead and pop this on 2. And just keep doing this, because all we're doing is a sheet, y'all. We want it kind of see-through. Yeah, okay, come on. Try this one more time. I'm going to run it twice through each level. Some people say that they can get it about round 5. We're going to see how that does for us, because this is fresh milled. Alright, so now we're on number 3. We're going to keep going, y'all, until we are reached our destination of thickness. And if it gets too long, like it's about to do, then all I have to do is cut it in half and come back and do each half. So, and I'm going to keep doing this until I get the consistency I need, and once I do, I'll let you know and show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all, so this is our sheet, and this one went all the way to 9, so it's pretty much transparent. It's as far as it's going to go. So this is going to be our pasta. I still have to do this other one. This stopped at 6 because it got too long. In the meantime, I've got a pot of boiling water going on so that I can get my salt in it, and we're going to boil these up just a few minutes and then put these in cold water. Now, what I'm going to do right now is take a sheet of parchment paper, lay it down, and I'm going to measure this to my pan, because I'm going to use 2 per, and I think it's going to go directly in half if I'm not mistaken. So let's see how this goes. No, not necessarily. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to do this. Yeah, there we go. So right about there is our sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this and then come back, and this will do it 3 times this way. Yes. All right, y'all. So let me get this cut and I'll show you how we're going to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and use a pizza cutter right there at that seam that I made, straight across. Oh well, I took that edge off. That's alright, we're going to use this edge, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to come through here, considering I've already just cut that one, it seems. Go across that, come back here on this edge, go across. Now we're going to take our sheets over here that keep sliding everywhere, lay this across here to prevent it from sticking. Again, we're going to lightly flour our pasta sheets. Yeah, come on now. Like so. Make sure we get that so it doesn't stick. We're going to put another sheet on top. And we're going to continue to layer this until we have enough to make our lasagna for supper tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of this pasta, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and use this piece too. It seems like that one at the bottom will work. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and once we get it done, I've got my water boiling, so I'll show you what to do at the next step. Okay, y'all, so our water is boiling. We've got it nice salted, and we're just going to go ahead and do 2 sheets at a time. We're going to do this for about 1 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to add these straight to cold water to stop the cooking process, because they're going to be baking in the oven as well, so we don't want to overcook our pasta. Then once they come out of the cool water, I'm going to drizzle them with olive oil to keep them from sticking while they wait to be put into our baking dish. And y'all, I'm going to be using my new one tonight. So let me get a set of tongs. I'm going to make sure this is sitting in the water. This is amazing, y'all. I mean, these sheets are, look how gorgeous this is. We don't want to make it too long. So I'm going to go ahead, pull these out. Like I said, we're not doing this too long, just for about 1 minute to 3 minutes the most. And you want to be very gentle not to rip these as well. Like that. They don't come out very nice. Let me get this in the water. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this process, y'all. I'm gonna have to find another way to pull them out of this pan. But after each layer, I'm going to just do 2 sheets at a time, like I said. Get these cooked. And then once I get them all cooked, we'll be right back because we're going to put our lasagna together. Alright, y'all, now for the cheese filling. This in here is shredded mozzarella and Parmesan or Asiago. I also have been straining some ricotta cheese in here so it's not so soupy when I go to make my meal tonight. So I am going to now add my ricotta in here. It's not completely dry, but it's drier than it originally started because, well, we just don't want all of it to be. I've had it where it was super wet for my lasagnas, so I just wanted to strain some of this a little bit. Now we're just going to mix all this together with some salt and pepper, and we're going to mix it and get started on layering our lasagna. So as soon as we get this done, we'll be right back because we're in the mixer of multitasking, y'all. Alright, y'all, let's layer our pan. I'm going to start with, some people don't, I'm going to start with a small layer at the bottom of my pan with sauce, just like so. Lay down my homemade lasagna sheets. Some of this did tear, but you know what? It's not going to matter. I'm not into perfection. By the time it goes in our gullet, it's not going to be perfect anyways. Alrighty. Got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some sauce on top of this. Like I said, I did not want to cook my pasta all the way because I already knew that this sauce and all is going to make it more cooked. So we're just like boiling it. Now I'm going to come back and use dollops of our cheese, which is mixed with ricotta, Asiago, which is a Parmesan basically, another type of parm, and mozzarella cheese. Get nice cheesy center in the middle. Spread this around. Y'all, I have not had lasagna in so long. I can't even remember when I had it. Just felt like a lasagna night tonight. And making my own homemade pasta, that's really cool. So to keep my sheets from sticking together, if you're wondering why they're coming out so beautiful like this, is I do a light coating. I kind of spray mist some olive oil on mine. Okay, now we're going to go ahead again with our sauce. Beautiful. Come in there with our cheese, and you get the idea, y'all. So I'm gonna get this filled in. When I get back, I'll show you the final, and then this bad boy is getting popped in the oven. So far, I got to see what time it is if we're making it, because we got to leave here at 6:30. So let me see if I'm still doing good, y'all. It is 4:54, almost 5 o'clock. So y'all, I don't know. I'm cutting it close, I'm telling you. So as long as I can get this done before 5:30, we're good. A little bit more over here. Alright, we will be right back, y'all. Alright, y'all, so we've reached the end of the remnants basically on our lasagna. So now I'm just going to sprinkle the top. This rack part here is not going in the oven. It's just, it is holding my pan right now, and I love it because once this turns around and comes out of the oven, I can literally stick this on here to cool some. So now we've got the rest of our Asiago mozzarella on top. Y'all, this is going to get popped in the oven, and we'll be back when it's finished. 5:30, y'all, and look, we have dinner. Oh, man, if y'all could smell this. My crispy edges on the sides, I can see that. This looks amazing. Oh yeah, that's nice and crispy. Y'all, so we're going to get this, let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to cut it, and we are going to serve supper so that we can get to church on time, y'all. But in the meantime, this is finished. I hope you enjoyed spending some time in the kitchen with me, y'all. Like I said, this is really not a recipe. You can pretty much follow it, though, if you wanted to take some notes on this. Now, what would I do differently in this as far as the meal? The meal itself, I wouldn't change anything. I love the fact that that fresh pasta is made in here. It worked out beautifully. If there was anything I would do, it's one or two things. I would probably pre-do my pasta maybe the day before and put it in the fridge till I'm ready to use it. Or I would make my pasta much earlier. That way all I had to do was just put it together and in the oven. So the pasta timing would probably be different. So I know what to do next time. I started this about 2:30 and I finished at 5:30. So the only time that took for me was the pasta itself. So y'all, this looks amazing. I cannot wait to try this. And I hope you enjoyed being with us today. And I love you dearly, y'all. And until next time, much love from Parton's Mediterranean Homestead.